May 20th, 2025, Pastor Timothy Forgy, Associate Pastor and Financial Director of Liberty Baptist Church in North Carolina, died by suicide. For days after his death, there was silence. No statements, no news stories, and no police reports. So I started asking questions. You're listening to the Preach Boys podcast. My name is Eric Skwarczynski, and as a former fundamentalist, I'm shedding light on the dark side of the church, from the pulpits to the pews. In the absence of police reports and media coverage in this case, I reached out directly to Liberty Baptist Church's leadership. Pastor Scott Gray, Timothy Forgy's brother-in-law, responded personally. He agreed to a phone call. In that conversation, Pastor Gray confirmed what many had suspected. An accusation of abuse involving a teenage girl in Texas roughly 15 years ago had surfaced on the very same day Forgy took his own life. At that point, I needed to know more. So on June 13th, I contacted the leadership of Emmanuel Baptist Church in Longview, Texas, where the alleged abuse occurred. Emmanuel Baptist Church is no stranger to controversy. Before it rebranded, it was known as Longview Baptist Temple, a church with a long and troubling history. Its former pastor, Bob Gray Sr., was closely connected to well-known figures in the independent fundamental Baptist movement, including the late Jack Hyles, the former pastor of First Baptist Church in Hammond, Indiana, his son, Pastor David Hyles, and the late Pastor David Baker. The latter two have both been implicated in serious abuse scandals.
If Jack Scott walked in here tonight and sat down, how would you respond?
Hey,
Some of you are nothing but stinking
the
hypocrites.
Bible
That's all
Belt,
you
for
are.
the Bible Belt.
You think that cock crows because of you? What if Dave Hyles walked in here tonight and sat down next to you? I don't want no whoremonger sitting next to my family. I wonder if anybody caught you late at night watching something on television you shouldn't have been watching.
In 2005,
ain't
the
late
church's
night no more. You
academy
can watch it
principal,
in the
Russell
daytime.
Thomas Herner, was convicted of sexual assault and indecency with a child. There were 4 known victims. Bob Gray II took over the church in 2009 and began slowly making moves to shift the direction of the ministry. In 2019, the church changed its name to Emmanuel Baptist in an attempt to distance itself from its toxic past.
What is the reason for the name change? To be able to have a clear conversation with the East Texas community
Doesn't matter if you change the name,
concerning
you're still
Christ.
doing the same thing.
Without having to
Sex abuse in the
apologize
church doesn't matter if you change your name 20 times.
for the past. Actions that had nothing to do with us, but yet we still have to answer the questions.
That same year, Bob Gray II publicly condemned his own father's support of known abuser Cameron Giovanelli.
I just want everyone to know where I stand. I, Bob Gray II, am not going to come out in support of a predator. I totally support not the alleged victims, but the confirmed victims.
Still, many former members of the church remain skeptical. To them, a name change does not erase the culture, and some think the church's independent Baptist roots alone are enough to make it untrustworthy.
So everyone, we're going to stop it right there. You can go and watch the full video on his YouTube channel, The Preacher Boys. So we're going to stop it right there because we know what the allegations is. So this preacher, this pastor, he committed suicide when the story came out that he had been sexually abusing this young girl. And it happened 15 years ago. So you can see the length of time that this man had to have had this in his spirit. And so when it came out, the story came out, he couldn't face the story. He committed suicide. So let's get into some of the commenters and see what they had to say on this story. So if you go and watch the full video, just to give you some little notes on it too, again, so it was on May 2025 that this pastor died by suicide from a resurfaced sexual abuse allegations that stated 15 years ago. And it was at Liberty Baptist Church. And then there was accusations of the essay. This happened in Texas. And so they changed their church name to Emmanuel Baptist Church. And that was their new name in 2019. So there were other former pastors that was also caught up in this scandal, in this story as well. And so there was a former pastor named Russell Thomas. He was accused also. Bob Gray, the current pastor, he was accused against predators also as well. Predators confirmed, but not alleged. And then abuse is now rampant in these fundamental churches. And Tim Forgey was a pastor, and he was Bob Gray's brother-in-law. So we can see the family connection. So when this family member found out about this essay, he confronted his brother-in-law. And when the brother-in-law was confronted, he committed suicide. So those are just some of the little clip notes from this video. Again, go and watch the full video. It's only 8 minutes, but you can watch the full video at Preacher Boy. So let's see what some of the commenters had to say and what you have to say about what the commenters had to say. Let's take a look.
Spoke with Pastor Bob Gray II on the phone. I voiced my own concerns about the patterns of.
Okay. Our first comment is coming from Rubes Martian. He says, I was a member of Longview Baptist Temple not long after my family joined. Junior became pastor. I find it very hard to believe he didn't know what was going on with then youth pastor Tim Forgey. I myself was molested by my brother who went to the college there. When I went in with my parents for counseling, I told Bob Gray what happened, and his response was more of an, oh, well, nothing I can do about that than anything else. I just don't believe he didn't know, and I definitely would not be on the side of right when he didn't care about a similar circumstance happening at his church. Rubes got 5 thumbs up on his comment. So here is someone that actually was affected by molestation by his own brother who went to that college, and he confronted that pastor Bob Gray, and he treated that as if it was nothing. Isn't that what we're seeing today in these churches? That's why they go 15, 20, 30 years, with the corruption, with the hiding of these SA allegations that's going on in these churches. It's mind blowing, isn't it? Just unbelievable, but it's happening. Let's take a look at our second commenter. Abandoned by RK says, this is the second IFB leadership person I have known that has ended themselves this way in less than a year now. I'm unsure how to feel about BG2, but this feels like another step in the right direction, even though I would never attend his church again. So there it is right there, isn't it? This commenter, I like his name, abandoned. Sometimes you got to abandon these bad churches, right? When you know the corruption that's going on in there, you got to abandon them. So he said, they're going in the right direction, but yet still he has the wherewithal that I'm not going to that church again. Been there, done that, not going to repeat it. Basically is what he's saying. So do you agree with Abandon's comment? Let us know in the comments below. Let's take a look at our next commenter. Bluebird says he's watching this in Virginia. So not just this happens in Texas, but it's in all of the 50 states of America, isn't there? There's something going on with the churches, SA allegations in these churches. Let's take a look at another commenter. This one is coming from Hugen Der Raven. Says, Gray should have never gone. He should have called the cops in North Carolina. He didn't even follow the advice he allegedly gave the victim. Why? Good comment, isn't it? And he got 7 likes on that comment. Thank you, Hugging. I guess you're hugging there, Raven. Hugging the Raven. Hugging the Raven. That's what your name is. Okay, I tell y'all, the name of some of you guys' YouTube channels is amazing right there. So he's giving his 2 cents, his opinion on this situation. Let's take a look at our last commenter. This is coming from Rita. Rita Dyer says, not IFB, but a few years ago, I came across a comment on a thread about a pastor I know, and it said that he and one of his granddaughters, he has 4 and 1 is gay, had abused people. There wasn't any more details, and I was afraid to ask questions. The weird thing was that it was on a post about a funeral for a young woman complaining that he had said she went to hell. Supposedly, they said she committed suicide, but I don't think she did. So someone was complaining about how the service had been handled in an uncaring way by this pastor. And then someone else made the comment about the abuse. Coincidentally, it's North Carolina too. I don't have a clue if any of this is true. You know, you may not have clues, but it's out there. Just go to YouTube. Just look at the latest YouTube creators that thrive on bringing these stories out. That like Julie Royce Report. She's good at bringing out these stories that's going on in the churches today. So you may know someone. You may have been to a church that knows someone that's been SA abused by the pastor, by any leader in that church. And you got reservations about the pastor and the church, don't you? Just like these commenters have today. So let us know again in the comments if you agree with any of the comments that made here from Ruse, from Abandon, from Bluebird, from Hugging Their Raven, and from Rita Dyer. Go again and watch the full video if you like at the Preacher's Boys YouTube channel. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on today. And I also want to remind everyone that we're doing a wonderful series over there at the Bible Talk Show YouTube channel. The presenter there is Sandra. I'm Minister Love, and I'm doing a wonderful series with her, and it's called The What Ifs in Life. Look at that word life, and right in the middle is if. Many of us have some what ifs, don't we? What if I didn't take that job? What if I didn't marry that man? What if I don't eat that other donut? What if I don't eat these sweets? What if? Your what ifs is a choice. It's based on conditions, isn't it? So you don't want to miss any of those studies that we're doing over there at the Bible Talk Show. Check us out. You won't be disappointed. Okay, everyone, that's going to do it for us here. I'm going to see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing right here to Your Comments Matter on our YouTube channel. See you on the next video.